Welcome to Shambala Training Center in Portugal, southwest coast. Here I do a training spiritual warriors. And I invite you to come here to join this training. So in this video I'm going to explain a little bit about what this means, how you can benefit from it, and how the whole world can benefit from this training. So basically we're training how to become spiritual warriors, peaceful warriors. And this training is a combination of finding your mission and your purpose. And many people today are waking up to the problems of the world and might find the normal life quite uninteresting. Doesn't give the meaning they look for. They feel that they have something to contribute, something more, but maybe it's difficult to place it. But more and more people are going around with this feeling. And from my perspective, this is something that is universally happening right now. People are waking up to their true essence. They're getting reminded of why they're here, and that they in fact do have a purpose, and this purpose is extraordinarily important for the whole of this the society, humanity, and also for Earth. The teachings of the spiritual warrior is passed down through intuitive receivement of these hidden dharmic treasures or teachings. These teachings are timeless, from coming from a place I don't know where, but it is somewhere located and has been active through many, many years. But now it's time for this information to start activating in a broad scale. I myself started to receive this kind of teachings, which is mostly different kind of meditations, but more different insights on how to conduct my life, how to align my life to my greater purpose, and how to relate to life, how to enjoy life to the fullest. I started to receive this when I was about 7 years old, and through my life I've continued to receive these teachings, these insights, and also been studying with different teachers, finding my own way through this knowledge, and finding my own tradition that is heavily based on the idea of the Shambala Warrior. So according to the mythology, Shambala was a place in ancient time, about 2,500 years ago. It was a country, a huge country, that was ruled by a king. But uncommon to these days, this king was a very good example of how to order a society, and the society had a structure that enabled all its citizens to be highly educated and also to have a spiritual practice, as well as other things as expressing their creativity and so on and so forth. It was an ideal or enlightened society, and the Buddhist sutras, especially the Kali Chakra, describes how the Lord Buddha came to this country and taught the king a very advanced tantric meditation practice. and that the king adopted this and shared this with his people. But it's important to distinguish that the Shambhala teachings is not Buddhism. Shambhala was already an enlightened society before Buddha came and shared his teachings. So the teachings of Shambhala is actually a combined teachings, a universal teachings of how to live in peace and harmony and how to develop yourself. The story continues that this great nation, it was flourishing, but it was quite new and quite weak in a way that it wasn't ready for what was happening around. In all directions there were wars, there was starvation, there was evil uprising. And to protect itself, the legend says that the whole country of Shambhala disappeared into the mist of the mountains. And it did this to protect itself from all this war and all this evil spreading. But they had a mission, and the mission was to develop the Shambala Warrior. And this warrior is someone who can, not by force, but with healing, magical properties, control or change or work with, that's the best word, to work with nature and the natural energies to neutralize their opponents and to even convert them into the path of light. But this is a long process. So they have been hidden now for more than 2,000 years. But the story entails that at one point, when the world will need them at the most, when it's a dark time and there is only one ruler of the whole world and wickedness is everywhere, at that point, Shambhala will emerge again, and out will an army of spiritual warriors come and create a new era of peace, golden age. And this can be taken literally like this, but it's also at the same time, or to some only, a way to express what is happening now. We can see all this destruction on the earth with the secret societies and the different noble families, not so noble, the different rulers of this world are getting very, very powerful, and they are getting a domination of the whole planet through very dark and occult means. I don't know how much you know about this, but generally people are also waking up to the fact that the global elite are using magic and ceremonies and so on to protect their powers. And this magic is not something super exotic. It's just one part of science, how to affect things on a distance using only your mind power. And this is something that we're starting to grasp a little bit more in modern science. But this has always been something that people have been aware of, but it's been hidden away and used mainly for dark purpose, like black magic. To make it simple for people who don't have any knowledge about magic, we can call it just propaganda. It's knowledge about how you can affect other people with very small and simple means. And this can be verbally, it can be energetically, and so on. But back on track. The day has come when the darkness is so great that people are starting waking up. And the teachings of the Shambhala and also teachings of the Rainbow Warrior coming from the Hopi Indians in the north of America and other teachings are emerging, and people are waking up to this calling. The calling of protecting this planet, protecting humanity, to see that our job here as humans is actually as guardians of the planet. We have a key job here to create balance and to enhance every living system, to make abundance. Just as every cell in our body has a specific task of helping the whole of the body to be in good condition and good health, we also have a key role in helping the whole planet to remain the balance and the abundance. Obviously, this has been lost, and most people are totally disconnected from this, and rather than having as their mission to create abundance for everyone, they are in a mood of scarcity and fear, focusing only on how to get more enrichment for themselves. But this is ignorance, because you can only get so much from material wealth, and it's actually quite a little bit. It's very important to have your material needs met, but after that, your happiness and your fulfillment of life will be mostly based on spiritual and mental properties, not material. So actually, by adopting this materialistic worldview, we limit ourselves very, very much to appreciate only a fragment of reality. Also, very important is to understand more about magic, or if we would call it nature, how to work with nature, how to connect to the planet and to the heavens, and to connect to yourself, as you are the vessel for connecting with these different powers. When we start to dismount much of the programming, the propaganda, and the false beliefs that we are currently, most of us, having, we open up to a space where we can align with the natural forces, where we can receive the teachings directly from the source, where we can create happiness and abundance in our life without effort. And we can also create healing within ourselves and others. And we can convert people or awaken their longing to go the path. So what we're focusing on in this training program is to work with the warrior, which is qualities of bravery, strength, all good trait of what you could imagine of being a good warrior, to do the good fight, to stand up for injustice, and to work full-heartedly towards our grand goal, which is to reinstate this enlightened society here on earth. It's a very unselfish work, and it entails meditation, qigong and body awareness, grounding our bodies, posture work, and different kind of martial arts as well, to create the firmness needed to be a true warrior. Some people don't really like the term warrior, but then they do not understand that we are actually in war right now. Some people don't see that, because we are actually behind enemy lines. We are in enemy territory, because the Western world is the part of the world that is the aggressive part, that is going into the third world countries and so on, and stealing their resources, and also using them as free labor or underpaid labor. So we have a war. We might not be in the middle of it because we are lucky enough to be born in this part of the world where we can have relative peace. But this peace comes for a great price. First, that we're being manipulated and controlled not to start revolution or work against the system, but also that all the things that we get, all the luxury and all the food and so on, it has a cost, a price in life, a price on the earth, on other people. And this is not good for us fully, because we cannot continue living on the expense of others if we want to open up to our full potential and really live happy, good lives. So we are warriors. We are ready to give everything for the cause that we are here on earth to fulfill. And this cause is to do good. This is as simple as it is. It's the golden rule. Unselfish work towards everyone. And this might sound like a very difficult thing, and many people don't feel ready. But this is something that is part of the new energy coming. We do not need to be great masters to do this change. We don't need even to be great at meditating, at martial art, or at anything. The only thing we need is a longing to do the work necessary and a longing to share the little knowledge we have with others to help others. I myself, I'm not a true teacher in the sense that I am an enlightened master. I'm not even close to be an enlightened master. I have had some experience and insights coming to me, and I have experience of doing deep meditation. But the knowledge that I have, the wisdom that I have, fragmented as it is enough. And everyone who comes here to do this training here will learn not to be a follower of anyone, but to find their true king inside, to understand that you, in fact, already now have the possibility to choose path right at this very moment, to choose the path of goodness, of bravery, and start working and walking this path. And you can start by doing good today, to yourself, to other people around you. And with time you will become good, and eventually you will become great and a master. A master in a sense that you can do good and you can enjoy life without effort. It just comes naturally. And while I am still struggling with this and can see that I'm falling into different kind of dramas and to different kind of pleasures, struggles, hindrance, I always remember my practice. I always remember to go back to my path, to acknowledge when I walk in the wrong direction, but without any sadness, no great sadness. I just follow the right path again, over and over again. It's more about being determined than being a master, because we cannot wait until we are masters before we act. This is not how it is supposed to be. It is when we act that we get the insight that we need. It's true acting and giving from what we have, even if it's just a little bit of wisdom. But by sharing this wisdom, we're opening up. We are getting into the path of unselfish, unconditional love, and by such, we open up to receive more wisdom and insight. So, this saying that you have to start with yourself is only true to a very small extent, actually. Obviously, we have to start with ourselves. We cannot ignore ourselves, but we have equally necessity to start with everyone around us, including ourselves. For every little knowledge you get and gain, you will give it to someone else. And this is the main focus of our training, to give you the simple few tools you need to do your practice, and to learn how to teach these tools to your friends, to other people, to become a teacher. And it doesn't matter if you have a past of doing great evil, or if you have a lot of karmic baggage, been through trauma or other things, had a lot of hindrance on your way, even if you had strong demonic influences in your life, or been into black magic or similar in this life or other lives. It doesn't matter at all where you are right now. The only thing that matters is that you choose to walk the path, the great path. And this path, this conviction, this determination to walk the path is everything. And you can begin being a teacher already now. So by coming here, you will learn different simple meditation technique that you can really understand fully, very fast, and practice with very great results. And you will also learn simple forms of Qigong, which is a meditational form of martial arts that can be used both to manipulate or to direct energies from nature, from yourself, as well as a martial art where you can manipulate the force of your enemy to use their force against them, and also can be used for healing properties. So this is the path of the warrior, someone who sees the way and walks the way, unselfish. And you will learn to be less and less unselfish with time. You will have to accept that you're not a master at this point, and you will have to accept that you will go sideways or even backwards at times. And this is a natural part. So the second part of the spiritual warrior is the healer, the magician. And this part mainly focuses on healing ourselves and other people. Also on healing nature, just creating abundance everywhere. And we will start by looking at ourselves and working with different tools, how to heal your own traumas, how to listen to the sadness inside, how to accept this sadness, how to transform, using tantric means, these difficult negative energies into positive strength. It's a transformation process of letting go of all hate, anger, sadness, frustration that is stored within our bodies. Luckily, this negative energy that most of us have, mostly due to difficult circumstances in our childhood, many times with violence or abuse, but also with smaller things like lack of love, and then this programming we get from school, other people, and so on. We will need to work on healing these things to really create our health back. So it's about healing ourselves and healing each other. And work through different kind of deep listening, to really listen to yourself and to others. And you will learn how to do this for yourself and for others, so you will become a healer as well as start the process of healing yourself, which is a process that will be ongoing forever until you reach ultimate enlightenment. And while ultimate enlightenment is part of our goal and our plan here on Earth, this is not our main focus. We are not coming here to escape suffering, but rather to help the whole of the universe to work smoothly and in balance. And this is our role here for us spiritual warriors that are born to this planet and in this time. I think most humans has this longing inside to do good, but for some it's very locked up, very difficult for them to access this knowledge. But it is there. I believe actually, and I know this to be, that every human being has this longing, as well as every cell and so on. But just as a cell can get cancer and start acting in a self-destructing way, so can a human being become self-destructive and start destroying the host of the planet. So by healing ourselves, we get aligned in tune and we'll receive instruction straight from the source. We will receive what we need to know to continue this great mission. So we will work learning how to coach each other, how to resolve conflict, how to look at deep traumas. And we will also use different shamanic techniques of getting into deep trances to open up to pain and suffering, trauma that we're carrying, to be able to release this. But as I was mentioned a bit, all these negative things that we've gone through are actually fuel for our spiritual development. All the negative and difficult energy that we have been storing in our bodies, and that is now creating pain in our bodies, as well as other problems with our health, we can now understand how to transform this energy into pure light and healing. And so in a way, it is very fortunate that we have gone through all this pain and suffering as a civilization as well as an individual. Because when you understand how to tap into this energy, you can take years and years of pain and suffering that you've been holding, that you've been saving, and you can use that as you please to create healing, joy, pleasure, and bliss. So we will learn how to do this and how to use this as healing force. So that's the major part of the training. The training is open to everyone, and a normal day looks like this. Basically, we wake up to the sound of a Tibetan singing bowl before sunrise, and we prepare to do meditation in the morning. And after meditation, we do qigong or yoga, and we do this practice for about 2 hours. And after that, we start working, creating breakfast. After breakfast, we continue work until lunch, and after lunch, we continue with different practices of sitting in groups, doing maybe breath work, maybe some tantric meditation, or some other activities. Could be healing, could be just having fun and allowing our inner child to express itself. And during this, the whole summer, I accepted people to come, and there will be a different rolling schedule of having gatherings where people are invited to come and share their knowledge, as well as joining into the training program. We will also have intense training where we will do silent meditation for longer periods of time, or fasting and other things like this. And we will have normal work weeks, which entails both training and physical work, with gardening, planting trees, digging, making trenches, and so on, making Shambala great, building houses, toilets, showers, and so on. So this is the practice, and if you feel that you are supposed to do this practice, then you're welcome here. I really feel honored if that is the case, that you feel a calling and that you resonate with what I've been talking about. And I will be so honored to be helping you, to give you this simple exercise and techniques and make you into a good teacher, hopefully better than me. This is my ambition, to create many teachers and just see how they spread out and put their seeds into the ground in all directions, and to help this love revolution to happen. So you are most welcome to come here to Portugal, to Al Yasur, to Shambala Kingdom.